Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason and I am your watch guy today. Today I am back with a new micro brand that will be launching very shortly on Kickstarter. Now this piece has already won a design award in 2022. It's absolutely beautiful and it really hits home with a Celtic design, and yeah, it's a beauty. It's also got the world's first sapphire crystal crown. Yeah, that's right. Martin Design are not coming out of the block slowly. They've absolutely nailed this design for me and I absolutely loved having this watch in. Now this will be launching on the 21st of September, so you have a few days to get your eggs in order if you want to get onto this campaign. Below I have linked the Martin Design website as well as their Kickstarter campaign. So if you wanted to find this piece, then you can get it down there. These are going to be €200 off the RRP in the Kickstarter early bird pricing. So it's a good deal, really good bloody deal on this one. Just so you're all aware, this is being sent to me for free by Martin of Martin Design and I don't have to send it back. However, this is a full, open and honest review as always. With that all out of the way, let me turn this camera around and let me show you this brand new award-winning micro brand. So guys, this is the Martin Design Celtic Legacy. This is the copper edition and I have had the absolute pleasure to spend so much time with it. The Kickstarter will be released very shortly. I've inserted the date just here for you. Now, there are some changes that I am going to make you aware of before we get into this full review. The crown has a symbol on it that will be changed to the MD logo and the case back will be changed to a display case back. Those are two things I will not be showing you today, therefore, just so you are aware. However, if you wanted to see some images of what this will be like with those changes, then they are available on the Martin Design website. I have linked that in the description. So first of all, let me say thank you to Martin for sending this one in to me. I know that not many of these went out to reviewers, so I am very lucky to be able to display this to you guys. And honestly, it's a special watch, very special piece. Let me talk to you about the dimensions before we go any further. It is 39.6 millimeters in diameter. I have it in at 12.5 millimeters in thickness, 46.2 millimeters lug to lug, and these lugs are 20 millimeters. Now, one thing that I do think is important to mention is the crown is 5 millimeters long also, so just be aware of that. Now, the crown is really the thing that sold this watch to me completely. Now, the dial's gorgeous, it really is, but that crown is just something else. This is a sapphire crystal crown. I will get some close-ups of it, but it's a very unusual yet very nice design. It really did pique my interests, if I'm completely honest. This is the first watch to ever be released with that sapphire crown, and I think that is something a little bit special. Now, we have good levels of nailing on the crown also, which do enable you to hand wind this piece very easily, and it also makes it very easy to change the time. No date on this movement, very clean design for this. It is packed with the NH72A movement, so no date function on this piece. Now, when it comes up on the Kickstarter, there will be an excellent deal on the early bird pricing. It will be in at €279. Now, that will be €200 off the RRP of this piece. So if you are interested in it, it's definitely something that you want to get onto very early on. We have a 316L stainless steel casing on here. It is fully polished throughout. One really nice design note is the cutaways to the lugs. Now, again, that really did add a little design presence for myself. I think that it's a very nice aesthetic and it disguises the length of these lugs and the curvature of them a little bit. And I do think that it adds a little bit of a aesthetically pleasing note to the case design. We have a bowl-like feature to this casing, so it does fit quite nicely to wrist and doesn't fit as you would expect a 40mm watch to do. It does fit much nicer. Short lug to lug also aids in that. This fixed bezel is again high polish throughout. It has a very nice dress aesthetic to this piece. We have a slight dome to the sapphire crystal on this piece, which does does give a really nice effect and some levels of anti-reflective coating there. The water resistance rating on this piece is 100 meters, and for this type of style of watch, I think that's a very suitable amount of water resistance to pack into it. As we move into the dial itself, it is really a focal point for this piece. We have a multi-layered brushed effect dial on this one, and it's just absolutely gorgeous to look at. You can see the multi-level layers, and the lower level has a very beautiful perlage design to it, which accents the rest of the dial very nicely, with it having a very clean brushing effect throughout the rest of the dial. We have applied indices throughout. They are very subtle in design. We do have a chapter ring here, which brings the dial very close to the sapphire crystal, or gives it a really nice shallow effect to the piece, which I do enjoy on these dress watches. I do like to feel like it is close to the sapphire. The chapter ring has minute markings throughout in white, which does help with the legibility of this piece. Up at the 12 o'clock, we have the applied MD logo with Martin design either side there. Now, following that down at the 6 o'clock, we have Celtic Legacy. This is the copper dial option. Now, there are other colour options on the Kickstarter that you will be able to choose from, and there are some very nice looking pieces on there. The handset is quite unique. It is again in a copper coloured option. However, we do have a Celtic knot style handset on here at the tips of the handset with skeletonized cutaways. I think that's a really nice design feature. As well as that, we do have a pencil-like second hand ticking away there that reaches very nicely to the edge of the dial. One thing that I just can't really get over is the level of brushing on that dial. It's just an absolutely beautiful display. You won't be shocked to hear that this has actually won an award. It got the A Design Silver Award for 2022. That is a design award, and honestly, you can see exactly why it won that, because this design is absolutely beautiful. Now, there is no loom shot for me to mention on this, so we will be moving directly on to the calf leather band that is supplied with this piece, and honestly, it is absolute quality. Feels really nice on wrist, very subtle, very easy to manipulate to the wrist, and once it's warmed up a little bit, it does have a really lovely fit. Nice levels of stitching throughout, two leather keepers which fit very nicely to it, not those loose fitting keepers that you usually get. Now, we do have a butterfly clasp on this piece. It is very nicely fitted to that band, and as I close that over there, you can see that we have the MD logo on the keeper. Again, very nicely cut away in a negative display. Let me just close this back up. Now, there's obviously one thing left for me to do, and that is to get it on wrist for you before we get into our moan section. As I've said, this one was really nice to wear. I think it gives me a really good dress option in my collection, and as well as that, it really does have some really nice design points, and as well as that, the design does have really nice talking points, nice focal points around it. I think that it's a very good looking piece, as well as it being really enjoyable to wear. And honestly, that sapphire crown really did just complete it for me. Just a little bit of unique design is so appreciated in the watch market at the moment, because I think even though we do have original brands and we have original designs coming at us all the time, some of them do start to look a little bit similar to each other, and we really do lose a lot in originality. However, this is just a piece of genius for me. So what downsides do I see to this piece? Well, the first one I will be mentioning is the handset. Now, I really do like the design of the handset. However, I think Martin may have missed a trick here. I think the handset should have been maybe flame blue. And along with that, I do think the indices may have benefited from being a different colour option also, just because it kind of blends into the dial slightly. I think you can get a little bit lost and it loses a lot of the legibility to the piece. As well as that, the markings to the chapter ring could have been a little bit more legible also. Now, aside from that, I absolutely love this piece. I've fallen for it completely. I understand why it's award winning. I understand why I think it's going to be super popular on Kickstarter, and I really do think that Martin is onto a winner here, because that dial is just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, it's fantastic. And another note is that he hasn't played it safe at all. he's really gone with his own design philosophy here and really hit home his design instead of playing a little bit safe, you know, putting something out there that's just going to sell a little amount and make him a little bit of money. He's really tried to create something unique here, and he's definitely done that, especially with that crown and this dial. Well done to Martin, and I can't wait to see how this develops on the Kickstarter campaign. Okay guys, so that is the Martin Design Celtic Legacy. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I really do think with a flame blued handset, I think this watch is an absolute killer on the market. So hopefully that could be something that Martin will look at. However, if this isn't for you, there are other colour options available, and they are all just as beautiful in my opinion. Remember, there are going to be a couple of changes to this. This is going to have a new crown logo on the tip of it, and it's also going to have a display case back, which I think will really win a few of you over. Thank you for watching this one, guys, and thank you to Martin for sending this watch in to me. I really do appreciate it. If you're not already a subscriber here, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. I really do appreciate that. I'd also appreciate you checking out my online store. Again, linked below in the description. Thanks for watching this one, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.